It's authentic.
When we come to your school, we all in the stands with you.
It's inspirational.
The Honeybees is more than just about the field show. It's about inspiring young women.
It's groundbreaking.
Oh my gosh, there's a girl trying out for drum major, all this stuff. I was like, yeah, I'm doing it. And then I got it, I was like, yeah, I did it.
From the campus to the community, we cover everything HBCU. HBCU 101. Hello everyone, and welcome to HBCU 101. I am your host, Jaleel Thurman. HBCU 101 is a show that will take you all around the world, giving you an inside look at what's happening at HBCUs and giving you a taste of that HBCU flavor. Coming up today, we'll talk with North Carolina Central alum Sabrina Seymore. But first, let's see what's good in the hood with our HBCUs.
Hey guys, let's give you some news that you can use right here on HBCU 101. Great news for Grambling State University. The school announced last month that it has reached a 7-year enrollment high this fall. There's over 5,200 students enrolled. That figure marks 3 consecutive years of retention growth. Things going well for FAMU on the football field, and the players are doing some really cool things away from the field as well. A couple of weeks ago, they were in Norfolk, Virginia to take on the Spartans. Coach Willie Simmons brought some of his players to the Hampton VA Medical Center the day before the game. On that Friday, the players and coaches signed posters. They talked with patients and posed for some pictures as well. Coach Simmons says it's the first time his guys have visited a hospital as a team. That's a really good look. The CIAA basketball tournament is ending its long run in the city of Charlotte, North Carolina this year before heading up north to Baltimore. Here's a sign of the times. This year, fans can enroll in a spades tournament that will be held during championship week. All you have to do is be 18 years or older. The winning team collects $2,000. Get your books right. All right, let's get back to HBCU 101 with your host, Jaleel Thurman.
To 2 handsome young boys, she's known as a supermom. To others, she's known as someone who could put together some remarkable weddings. HBCU 101 is proud, is happy to be able to talk to a North Carolina Central University alum, event planner, and founding chief and editor, Sabrina Seymore. Sabrina, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you gracing us with such a prevailing status. Okay. But Sabrina, listen, let's talk, right?
Yeah.
North Carolina, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fayetteville.
Mm-hmm.
But you found your way to Durham. It's 11 HBCUs in the state of North Carolina. How did you land as an Eagle?
Honestly, it was influence from a high school teacher. I actually originally got accepted into Campbell University.
Okay.
I was throwing the discus and the shot put, and I got injured. My track coach thought that I could run, I don't know which one it is, where you run the full lap around the track, whichever.
Like 400 or 800.
I think it's the 800, yeah. And clearly I got hurt. And so because of that, I lost my scholarship. I was redshirted at Campbell University. And really the only thing keeping me there was the scholarship. And I knew I wanted to join a Greek organization. Couldn't do that there. So on August 15th, I called up to undergrad admissions, and they said that I could come, and I was there 4 days later.
Okay, now let's talk about that transition. I didn't know all that. So, Campbell University, North Carolina Central, PWI, HBCU. That transition, the difference, the experience. Let's talk about that.
So it was just summer.
Okay.
So I would hate to make a pure judgment because I didn't experience it fully.
Okay.
I got there in July.
Okay.
And I went home every day because I lived in Fayetteville because I wasn't doing anything.
I got you.
But I will say that it was in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
And I love the Lord, but we had to go to church twice a week. It was mandated we went. And it just was not the college experience that I heard a lot of my professors went to HBCUs. Actually, I mean, not professors, teachers in high school. Specifically, a lot of them went to A&T.
Okay.
But I wanted to do something different because a lot of my classmates were going to A&T.
Okay, I got you.
And I was like, I'm going to check out Central to see
Okay.
what's up with that because no one's really talking about it. And I'm the kind of person that likes to see why no one's talking about a particular thing. Yeah,
Okay.
it may have cost me thousands of dollars to transfer out, but
it was what it was.
it worked out.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
Mhm.
Eagle Pride Amplified.
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
okay. So before today, your company is known as Sabrina Seymore Events.
Yes.
But before that, it was the main event.
Mm-hmm.
Now that sounds like it might have been a little party promotion with a little event planning. Like, take us through what that transition was like.
The transition? Okay. So I had a business partner, my line sister. She was my business partner. And she kind of just came to the conclusion that she wanted to focus on some other business endeavors. And I was a little bit more engaged, you know, in the workflow of it. So she decided that, you know, she just wanted to part ways with it. And so I wanted to change the name because at that point, wedding and event planning companies were being named after the owners.
Okay.
They had a little bit more elegance to them.
Okay.
But essentially, we did have big dreams of throwing parties, not your average party, but something a little bit more curated.
Okay.
And it didn't pop off that way. We were
Okay.
still doing weddings and things.
Okay.
So essentially, I rebranded the company in 2012 to Sabrina Seymore Events.
Okay. And you specialize in destination weddings, but we ain't gonna give them too much right now. Hey, listen, we'll be right back with Sabrina Seymore. We're gonna tell you about why she's so fascinated with destination weddings.
You're watching HBCU 101 on Aspire TV. We'll be right back. Welcome back to HBCU 101 on Aspire TV.
Welcome back to HBCU 101. Sabrina, destination weddings. Now, everyone loves destination weddings until the price, until everything gets kind of crazy. But you have like a fascination about them and planning them. Like, talk to me about it.
So I actually ended up in Fayetteville, North Carolina, because my parents were in the military.
Okay.
So as you know, anyone that's a military brat, we move like every 2.5, 3 years.
Okay.
You know, when I met my husband, he's from a very small town in North Carolina. First time he ever flew was with me.
Wow.
So traveling was really not his thing, or even leaving the area.
I got you.
So I kind of get my fix on traveling through planning destination events.
Okay.
Along with the fact that I just have a lot of experience in living in other cultures and living in other countries and experiencing other cultures as well. So really, I got my big break when I was planning a local wedding for a bride and a groom, and they just kind of weren't really feeling because they had the travel bug too.
Okay.
And so they were like, maybe we should do destination. And I planned it. It was good. Everything went well. And then from there, the inquiries started coming in.
Okay.
And even I can backtrack some. I actually got married in Jamaica too.
Okay.
So again, that was the first time my
You
husband.
ain't planned that, did you?
I didn't. I
Okay.
did not. I
Okay.
did, but I didn't.
Okay, I
I'm gonna
got
say
you.
I didn't, but I didn't. You know. But essentially, we got married in Jamaica too. So, you know, I have experience as a bride and I have experience as a planner.
so you
So
got
I
a little bit
can
of best of both
sympathize
worlds.
on both sides when it's time
Okay.
to start the process.
Now, the first wedding that you did plan outside of the country, where was it?
Jamaica.
Okay, so it was also in Jamaica too, so you was already familiar with
Yep.
all of that good stuff. And I assume it's been, you know, a lot of clientele has been coming with that. And because I know a lot of people are really interested in it, and it's such a struggle. So I'm assuming that you're really been able to be the matchmaker and a peacekeeper
Right.
play in those events?
It is. I think the biggest hurdle is getting the commitment from your guests.
I got you.
Because while in September they may feel like I'm coming next May, but life happens. And it's difficult because a lot of times in other countries, final numbers are guaranteed months prior to. So when you back out a month before, it costs the clients, you know, a lot of money. So I have to explain that to people, like, before you pay your final amount, make sure you really, really, really understand if you're going to be able to make it.
That makes sense.
Because I've had people 2 weeks before, like, I'm still trying to make it work. And I'm like, I mean, I'm not in anyone's pockets, but $3,000 is a lot of money to come up with in 2 weeks, you know? And so that's usually the biggest headache. But dealing with vendors and things of that nature in other countries, I've kind of mastered that process.
Okay. I'm interested enough about talking about dealing with vendors and different people. It sounds like you've really mastered it all. Into where you even created your own magazine. At E-Magazine, The Prevailing Woman. Now, what was that kind of like, being the fact that you have Vogue, you have Essence, you even have like Oprah with O magazine? Like, what made you want to be like, nah, it's something missing?
So I felt like there wasn't a publication that actually showed women from the beginning stages of their quote unquote fame all the way to them actually being like a household name. A lot of times when you flip through the pages, it's people that are not very attainable. Like, you kind of got to go through hoops and hurdles to connect with them. And from my experience, you know, the women that I have learned the most from are the women that are going through it. While it's easy to tell, so like, it's similar to childbirth. We don't know about it, but with childbirth, you know, a lot of times people will come and ask me like, well, when you gave birth, should I do this and that? Once the baby is out in here, you don't remember any of it because it's gruesome, it's painful. That's the only thing I remember, but I can't tell you exactly how it felt. I can't tell you exactly what I did. I just know it was painful. So if I ask someone, how should I start a magazine? If they tell me it's going to be difficult, well, what was difficult about it? They may not remember because at that time their baby is 10, 12 years old. And so I have gotten most of my best advice for someone who is fresh in the mix of it, going through the process. And so I felt like that was missing, you know? You just see people on like the famous side of it, or even the people that just, they need that kind of boost because they feel defeated in the moment. But it's like, sis, we see you. Like, we see what you're doing and we see your vision. So we're here to help you amplify it and put it out there for other women to see.
That ego pride amplified. I see you try to keep it a mix. And what you're doing to me is amazing, because I know you got conferences and you're thinking bigger and better. But to even have taken a small idea that's here and then be able to make it into something that becomes a reality, that's just beautiful in itself. So as a man, I can say I appreciate you for what you're doing for the woman. Because first of all, I love women, so I appreciate what you're doing. Power to you. Hey, but Sabrina, I really want to say thank you. But before we get out of here, we're going to play I Got 5 on it, all right?
Okay,
hey,
all right.
When we return, you know what time it is. It's time to play I Got 5 on it, all right?
You're watching HBCU 101 on Aspire TV. We'll be right back. Welcome back to HBCU 101 on Aspire TV.
Welcome back. You know what time it is. It's time to play I Got 5 on it. So Sabrina, this is how it works. I'm gonna ask you a series of questions. It's gonna be a this or that, and you just pick which one you got 5 on. It's similar like making a bet. Like, man, I got 5 on them, okay? So we're gonna start right now. We're gonna get crazy with it. The real HU, Hampton University or Howard University?
I'm gonna go with Hampton.
Okay.
Because I have really good friends that went to Hampton.
Okay. Now, I know you're from Fayetteville and you've been to a couple schools within North Carolina, so we're not gonna be biased and talk about Central.
Okay.
But if you had to choose which yard might be more lit, Winston-Salem State University or Johnson C. Smith University?
Winston-Salem State University.
Okay, that was just a no-brainer.
That was a no-brainer.
Ram Nation be holding it down.
They do,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's talk homecomings.
Okay.
All right. Now, homecomings are always a little tricky, right? Because you got all these big schools, you got the small schools. So I'm gonna take you to Florida.
Okay.
FAMU or Bethune-Cookman?
FAMU.
Oh,
Yeah.
you
I
just
think
in-
that's just.
You just in here all just
Yeah.
Rattler Nation is in the building. Okay. All right. Well, listen, I ain't gonna hold you up too much, Sabrina. I definitely appreciate you for stopping by, giving us the insight of the prevailing woman and all that good stuff you working on. All right. Listen, it's HBCU 101. It's Jalil. It's Sabrina. Stay tuned. We'll have more.
You're watching HBCU 101 on Aspire TV. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to HBCU 101. There was a big game in the SWAC over the weekend between Alabama State and Alcorn State. But there was something much bigger than the game going on. Our Tali Carr has more.
Alabama State did not win the game on Saturday night against Alcorn State, but this wasn't a life or death scenario, although games can sometimes feel that way. The game did provide an opportunity to engage the student body and community on a couple of points that could be life or death.
For about 2 years ago, we undertook a massive commitment to recognizing breast cancer survivors as well as thrivers and those who unfortunately lost their battle with the illness. We want to make people aware 1 out of 8 women will be diagnosed with this illness, and we want to raise awareness. We want people to know that early detection matters, to do their monthly breast exams, and not only women, but men as well. Make sure our women are getting their mammograms, and then certainly following through on all of their treatment.
We're stringing bras together called Bras Across the Field in honor of survivors or whomever of breast cancer. We're also wearing a purple glove because purple is the color for domestic violence. And so we're saying spread love with the purple glove. Rather than raising a fist, raise your hand and spread some love.
The pregame festivities were rained on, literally. A 4-hour weather delay along with stadium evacuations for lightning in the area took away some of the impact of having a line of bras marching across the stadium in front of a raucous crowd, but the message still got through. The entire ASU stadium was filled with pink and purple as Hornets everywhere acknowledged the message for breast cancer awareness.
That's why I love working at HBCU. We have the ability as administrators to be immersed in the student culture, the student population, as well as in our sport. We cross over a lot because we don't have the staffing. We have to rely on our university constituents. So being able to really have a hand in making this come to life at our game, which everyone knows athletics is the front porch, that's so important for us. This has been a game we've done every year since I've been here. And we know for women of color, typically when they are diagnosed, it's at a very later stage where treatment becomes difficult. And so if we can begin to impress upon our young women who are in their mid-20s, going into their 30s, even some of our non-traditional students that are in their mid-30s, begin asking those hard questions of their physicians. Again, doing those monthly breast exams, if they find any lumps, to not wait to go and have it checked out. And then also just being healthy and well altogether, eating the right kinds of food, making sure they're exercising. Again, all of that matters. Early detection.
The message on this night went even further than health screenings. There was a call to action on stopping domestic violence. It's a problem that lands a lot closer to college campuses than you might think.
Alabama State University has a population of a captive audience of students who perpetrate domestic sexual dating and stalking violence. Unfortunately, in our country, 18 to 24-year-olds have the highest incidence of those issues. And so we want to raise awareness with our students that we recognize that this type of violence is going on. We hope they'll come and report. That's my role, is to help them get healthy relationships and to help love one another. So today is just another one of the many things that we do for students to know that we know that DV is popular among them, but it's not natural, it's not normal, and it's not right, and we're here for them.
The opportunity to make a difference is something that brings a sense of purpose to these tireless messengers.
For me, it is super fulfilling because, what you said earlier, why do we have a job to do this? I'm 60-some odd years old, and I've come through teenage pregnancy, I've come through drugs, I've come through gangs among people. Now it's sexual domestic dating and stalking violence being perpetrated on each other. So to me, the government is having to spend money for jobs like this in institutions when it could be used for health care, it could be used to pay for education. So it's fulfilling if we can teach one young man to not end up behind bars, one young female to not be a repetitive cycle of this.
Yeah, it's been awesome. I can't keep up with the number of buttons we hand out. The t-shirts and everything are very popular, the pom-poms, because this is near and dear to my heart. One of the things people know me for are my little ducks. And so I have turned Alabama State on to the small breast cancer ducks too. So you'll see those pop up around campus too. I mean, I don't know what else we can do. And we certainly can lead this effort and get other HBCUs on board to acknowledge this. I mean, this impacts moms, daughters, sisters, aunts, grandmothers, godmothers, cousins. And then certainly when we talk about men and how it impacts men as well, making sure they're doing those exams too.
Okay, back to HBCU 101 in just a minute, but this is the first time we've actually had breaking news on the show. This information coming in just as we were wrapping up production on this week's episode. Oprah Winfrey making news. Now, she visited Morehouse College on Monday to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the Oprah Winfrey Scholars Program. She got a chance to take in the new painting of her on campus. And while there, she made a surprise announcement. She's donating $13 million to continue the scholarship fund she has in place, pushing her total investment to $25 million, which is the largest endowment in Morehouse history.
Seeing you young Oprah Winfrey scholars here today has moved me deeply. I am so proud of you. I'm proud of everybody in attendance at this school who is seeking to know more clearly who you are, the value you hold, and how you will share that value with the rest of the world. I was really surprised to learn that it's been 30 years since I made that $12 million donation to Morehouse. And so today, I would like to add $13 million to that.
That video provided by Morehouse College, giving us all a chance to check out how the announcement unfolded in real time. Morehouse, one of the first colleges to honor Winfrey with a doctorate degree back in 1989. All right, back to HBCU 101 and Jaleel Thurman.
That's it for the show. Make sure you tune in next week. From the entire crew here, I am Jaleel Thurman. And don't forget to stay up to date on the latest happenings with HBCU sports and culture at hbcugameday.com. I'll see you next week.